Good Wednesday evening, everyone. The forecast headache continues. This is the current radar as I'm recording this at around 7 p.m. So the thing I want to note is look how much precipitation there is. This is, you can see Tennessee there toward the middle. So precipitation stretches all the way back down to Texas. But one thing you need to also note is how broken up the precip is. It's very light precip. So that's going to factor into the forecast for tonight for sure. So these are the current winter weather advisories. They extend into close to the Nashville area, but not quite that far east. They just added about a half a dozen more counties across southern middle Tennessee to this. The Weather Service has kind of taken the approach of we'll wait and see, what happens before we issue winter weather advisories this time around. Whereas last night they were more, I guess you could call it proactive, where they issued them well ahead of time, so that you kind of got some warning about what was coming. I've never understood the point of issuing winter weather advisories when winter weather is occurring, because we already know that it's occurring. I always thought there ought to be some forewarning of that. So we're really in the same shape we were in last night. So I don't know why we're not all under winter weather advisory. I would just consider us under one just to be safe. And confidence is high, and about a glaze of ice and some sleet and some snowflakes. You all know the drill. A glaze isn't much, but it can be enough to cause some problems, especially on bridges and overpasses. Those are the things we're most mindful of. Surfaces are colder tonight than they were last night. We've had a very cold day. Many of us north of I-40 didn't even get above freezing today. So we've still got the thin glaze of ice we got last night. So areas north of I-40 definitely have a higher risk for some slick roads. And this is the hourly graph, and this is different for some of us that are already cold. Temperatures hovering right around that 30 to 32 degree mark. Some of us are going to drop down to 29, and then precip chances begin increasing by around 8 and 9 at 10 o'clock, about 20% chances, and then go up to 30 at 10 o'clock, 40% chances by 11. By midnight on into 4 a.m. we're at 50% chances. Precip possibly peaking at about 5 a.m. and then dropping back down to 60% chances. I take a lot of time to work on these hourly weatherly graphs. It's not like your app that just uses a computer-generated model with no oversight. I tweak this a lot, and I had to tweak this hourly graph a lot because model data is pretty terrible right now for the hourly weather forecast. So this is a tailor-made for you hourly weather forecast. Just keep in mind that conditions do vary greatly. I know those of you in Cumberland and Fentress counties both watching me. Conditions when I drove from Crossville to northern Cumberland County this evening, it was a total change of air mass. Crossville was cloudy, 33, 34, some places 35. Got out here to Rennie, it was very dense fog, 29 degrees. Everything's frosty, just a totally different landscape. So last night's map is aging well. So last night, remember, north of the red line, you had the greatest risk for accumulating ice. And the same is true tonight. This is kind of odd that the northwest portions of Cumberland County, Monterey, Overton County, Fentress County, we have a better chance of accumulating ice that could cause some problems because our surfaces are much colder. The thing is, though, is that the precipitation will be lighter tonight in areas that are colder. So if we could have gotten the heavier precipitation to shift northward, which it still could, then we would have better ice, sleet accumulation. May even have some snowflakes mixed in this go around too. That's not to say those of you south of that red line aren't going to see any winter precipitation. You most certainly will. Will it cause major problems? Probably not. Will it cause slick bridges and overpasses? It certainly could. So be very, very careful if you have to travel. That's the bottom line to all of this. There's still some uncertainty with this forecast tonight, but the bottom line is just be aware we have a chance for wintry precipitation tonight. It's cold, surfaces are cold. I would argue we have a greater risk tonight for slick spots on roads than we did last night. So just be very careful if you're out and about. So the chance of a snow day, well, the delay in Cumberland County schools of 2 hours tripped me up a little bit on this one, but I'm still going to say about a 60% chance, let's say, of a snow day due to icing and sleet and snowflakes or whatever falls out of the sky tonight, especially across the north end of Cumberland County. So The bottom line is this: be safe if you're out on the roads tonight. Be safe if you're out on the roads in the morning. Be aware that those bridges and overpasses, they may be shiny and look wet. They could be slick with ice. That's called black ice. So, and all it takes is hitting one slick spot, and you're going to wish you had went a lot slower across that bridge or overpass. Another thing to note, precipitation tonight will generally be light. It was light last night, it'll be light tonight. So any accumulation we get will be very light. Once again, not expecting an ice storm. We weren't expecting one last night, and we're not expecting one tonight. Not expecting a snowstorm. Could see some snowflakes mixed in with it all. It's just a wintry mix. So a light wintry mix that could cause some slick spots on area roads tonight and tomorrow morning. And be aware of that dense fog too. There's been some dense fog out there. I had to drive through some pretty dense fog this evening, and the fog contains little bitty water droplets that like to freeze on elevated surfaces. So be careful on your porch steps too. Don't forget those elevated surfaces. So you all just be careful, be safe. If a winter weather advisory is issued, I may post that. I just think we need to just assume we're under one. I mean, be advised that there could be some slick spots on area roads. That's all a winter weather advisory really tells you anyway. So you all be safe. We'll keep our fingers crossed for a snow day, but otherwise, I know at least Cumberland County is on a 2-hour delay, and we'll see what things look like in the morning. You all stay safe, stay warm, and keep it right here to meteorologistmark.com.